The two artifacts we have chosen to compare are Word Tamer and Story Starter. Both artifacts are used to support and encourage students in the construction of a narrative.
Word Tamer is an educational artefact designed to help teach the structure of writing a narrative whilst providing inspiration for creative writing through word suggestions. The artefact revolves around a carnival theme where the user rolls the mouse from one carnival tent to another, obtaining descriptive words through carnival games. Each tent is labelled as a different structure of narrative writing, and the user plays the carnival game to obtain words that will help them develop the part of the narrative. The tents are labelled as genre, setting, plot, character, and the last tent is wild writing. At the end of each game, the user selects several words, then writes ideas for this section. They can then save and print this section. If the user doesn't like the words they've selected, they can go back and select more. Story Starter is based on the same concept as Word Tamer, to provide students with an idea on which they can base a narrative. Story Starter allows students to choose from several genres on which to base their story. Once students select their genre, they select their class level and enter their name, allowing ownership of the task. On the next screen, students pull the lever to generate a story idea, which consists of a text type, a character, and an event on which they can base their story. Children are able to change each individual component of an idea to something which inspires them more. Once they have an exciting story idea that motivates them, they are able to select the format for their story, notebook, letter, newspaper or postcard, and construct this article with the option of including a drawing. Students save or publish their works. The artifacts are relevant and connected to the Stage 3 English syllabus in several ways. Word Tamer utilises step-by-step computer technology to produce a narrative, while Story Starter allows for the production of various texts for various audiences, for example letters, postcards or newspapers. It also allows students to construct and include their own graphic through the use of a drawing tool. Out of our two artefacts, Word Tamer was the more effective with reference to the quality teaching model. It addresses the intellectual quality domain of the model by allowing a student to participate in higher order thinking, deep knowledge, and the use of meta-language throughout the game. Word Tamer is able to achieve this by providing students with a scaffolded approach to narrative construction and allowing them to explore the meta-language associated with story writing, such as plot, characters, scene, and genre. Students are required to synthesise and combine facts and ideas in a creative manner to produce their own narrative. Unlike Word Tamer, Story Starter fosters a more supportive classroom environment through student direction, academic engagement, and self-regulation. Students influence the direction of their learning in an engaging task in which they are able to self-regulate. If they do not find one specific aspect of the generated story idea inspiring, they have the power to influence this, resulting in a more stimulating activity for the individual student. Academic engagement would be extremely high when applying this artefact in a classroom setting. Students are able to compare their story starter sentences or work in groups, asking questions, helping each other, and valuing each individual's contribution. Both artefacts address connectedness through the use of background knowledge and knowledge integration, requiring students to draw on existing knowledge to complete the tasks.
Word Tamer would be the more useful artefact when used on its own in the classroom. It allows individual students a greater depth of understanding and requires higher order thinking than Story Starter, while remaining fun and engaging. Both games build real-world connections through the themes of the game. Students are familiar with the characters, scenes, and activities presented. In Story Starter, children are able to construct text types which have relevance for them in the real world, such as letters or newspaper articles. Both artefacts utilise literary concepts already familiar to students, such as narrative structure, character development techniques, illustrating a story with a drawing, ideas on creative writing, and the importance of adjectives to support students' further learning. Children of all abilities in Stage 3 would be engaged with and enjoy this task. However, for students who need extra assistance or may not be at the same level as the rest of the class, Story Starter would be more suitable. This is because it is set up in levels of difficulty or complexity of the story suggestion given. It also has a less complex setup than Word Tamer, and making it extremely accessible to all students. The most effective method for applying these two artefacts would be in conjunction with each other, allowing for new learning opportunities.